invite everyone who has a good intention for this market, who can see the benefits and the prospects and the opportunities that this has brought to us as a nation, to be part of us in dealing with the people who do not wish us well. And that is critical in order for us to continue to create confidence. We'll be accommodating as much as we can within the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we'll be in the ethos of a federal capital market. So we will make sure that everything that we do is within the law and provides opportunity for people to even make comments, recommendations that are reasonable. Because one thing that we found out is that people a lot of times are very selfish without looking at the bigger picture. As SEC, our responsibility is to look at the biggest picture. That picture that serves the nation right, that picture that serves the economy right, that picture that does not pose challenges to our own existence. That's what the SEC will look at. The SEC will not reduce itself to looking at a small section. No. Because when the rain falls, it drops on everyone, either rich or poor. So we must make effort to be more accommodating. So it establishes clear rules and regulations for digital asset platforms, including registration requirements to promote transparency and trust. This allows the SEC to crack down on illicit activities, such as Ponzi scheme, pump and dump tokens, and unregistered exchanges, creating a safer environment for investors. It is important that even for celebrities, we must be cautious around what we do. Becoming influencers or introducing meme coins that do not mean well for the generality of Nigerians. It is very, very important that all of these are taken into cognizance, and our adherence to the AML-CFT regulations is critical and important in our business in this area. So the ISA 2025 is intended to promote fintech growth and innovation, specifically within the digital asset space, while ensuring regulatory compliance. I do understand that sometimes it is difficult, but I can assure you that the SEC is available with a listening ear and open heart to help guide us through when we have challenges. That is very, very important. We must endeavor to reach out. We must also not assume. Because when we assume, we make mistakes. And when we make mistakes, the SEC will not look at those mistakes. The SEC will look at the violation of the law. So it's important that we engage. And our doors are open to everyone that's involved. So this ISA 2025 thus provides a regulatory framework for fintech companies to operate within, enhancing transparency and trust in the industry. These companies include digital asset platforms, which are now required to comply with SEC regulations, such as registration and reporting obligations. The anticipated benefits and opportunities arising from the ISA 2025 include increased investor confidence. Very recently, there is a post that has gone viral around a particular platform and the activities of such platforms. And of course, the aftermath of it is further news of their closure and all of that. In fact, I was tagged in one of those messages. I want to state it very clear here that if it is not registered, it is illegal. The law is in force. So everyone that is going to be involved in this space must endeavor to fulfill and meet the requirements of the law. So for us, we must do everything to improve regulatory oversight by helping the market to prevent market manipulation and promote fair market practices. Indeed, overall, the ISA 2025 has the potential to transform the fintech landscape in Nigeria, fostering growth, innovation, and investor protection. As Nigerians, we all ought to be proud of this law. That is not to say there may not have been some misses in setting out the law. Every misses in the law will be corrected. The ISA provides the SEC the powers to create regulations coming out of the law. And from those regulations, we're able to deal with some oversights that may have happened in the process of setting out the law. The idea is to make sure that we are all comfortable and everyone is taken care of. You will all agree with me that prior to the coming of the law, or prior to the assent of the bill into law by the Mr. President, we had issued a new regulation, an all-encompassing regulation that speaks to the virtual asset service providers. That regulation is very, very rich and very deep. That regulation was taken out of the draft bill, but we wanted to move faster and forward. Hence, the regulation came out before the final passage of the bill and the conclusive assent by Mr. President. So in that regulation, we are taking care of so many. But fortunately for us, the bill has been signed into law. It therefore means that every aspect of the regulation that we need to adjust reasonably to completely align to the bill and to provide clarity to the entire work that has been done will be done within a very short time, so as to create the kind of environment that we have been speaking to. I must apologize also to people or individuals and companies that have applied ever since before the issuance of the provisional licenses and up to this point, that work has been happening on the ground. Out of those first provisional licenses, we have observed some very important issues which we need to take care of. We have observed that some additional level of due diligence, what I call a level 3 due diligence, needs to happen before we can come out with the next provisional licenses. It may appear to have taken too long, more than necessary. Hence, I'm tendering this apology. That it is not intended to keep you waiting. What we are trying to do is to make sure that every gap that we have seen is covered. Some of those challenges is as a result of the fact that not everything will be done by the SEC. This is in collaboration with other sister agencies for which we have very little control around their processes. And so we wait and hope to hear from everyone within the shortest time frame in order for us to be more comfortable with the licenses or provisional licenses that will issue out. Hence, it's important And as we continue in this line of thoughts, as we continue to provide clarity, as we continue to provide certainty, as we continue to provide vision, we all must work together to achieving greatness. Greatness that has started with the president's assent to our bill into law. And the cooperation and collaboration that is required by every one of us involved in this market to provide the environment we need and to provide the knowledge that is required to provide the transparency that's uppermost, and to encourage everyone who is involved in this space to come under regulation. Because for us, that is the primary thing to do. Our securities law and mantra says, registration is a hallmark of regulation. Without registration, there cannot be regulation. And if there's no registration, there is a violation. Hence, it's important that we all educate ourselves, clear any doubts in our process of building a strong digital space, a strong fintech platform, and an all-embracing system that will help us move to the next level, required of us, required of our nation, and required of our industry. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity to speak to you first on this important milestone that we have achieved as a nation together to making sure that tomorrow will be better. We are very, very clear on our intents and will continue to seek advice where we have challenges, and also to educate where there are issues to clear. Once again, thank you for the opportunity, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, DG. We truly appreciate your engagement with the ecosystem. The people here who have questions to ask, I like to encourage people to put their questions in the chat so we can batch them, makes it easy. But we'll still take a few people. So if you have a question, please show by raising your hand and we'll take the question. And where I feel that the DG doesn't need to answer the question, I'll bounce it. So, okay, I can see Shola Adeni. Please introduce yourself and your question.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and thanks so much to the Fintech Association for this opportunity. Like you rightly put, my name is Shola Adeni. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at End-to-End Technologies Limited, the owners of End-to-End Pay, a CBN license payment gateway. My question is to the DG that spoke earlier. How he intends to harmonize the stance of the CBN, you know, on the business of digital assets like crypto and the rest of them, because as it is now, a lot of businesses within the space are trading underground, if I can use that word. And of course, the opportunities are huge for businesses like our own. I would like to know how the SEC intends to harmonize this difference. Even as it is now, no banks are allowed to open accounts for crypto-related businesses. So there is still a gap, you know, between the market, and the ecosystem. So that's my question. I hope I articulated that correctly, sir.
Yeah, so I would love to answer questions as they come so that nothing is left out. CBN is a government agency, and besides being a government agency, they are an important part of our ecosystem. Of course, financial system stability is a responsibility of both the CBN, the SEC, and others involved in the space. As far as I know, CBN had issued a circular as far back as 2023 December regarding players in the crypto space and provided clarity as to what is expected of them to do. We are collaborating with the Central Bank of Nigeria, I would say that clearly. And we believe strongly that our collaboration is important. We will continue to speak to each other where there are challenges and try to resolve those challenges. That is the essence of our being co-regulators. So we would, in the light of the new developments, continue that engagement in order to free the ecosystem of any doubts regarding what we are doing together. So we are not only working with the central bank, we are working with the EFCC, we are working with the NFIU, we are working with the Office of the National Security Advisor, we are working with the CAC. Every stakeholder is important. And that's, for us, is the way to go. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. So the law has just been signed that gives us powers, that strengthens our hands, and discussions and collaboration will continue. So just give us time. Right.
Thank you, sir. Koi Emerald, please let me also say this. We will not recognize brands. If your name is here as a brand of a phone, we will not recognize you. We don't recognize brands. So change your identity on the platform. Thank you. So Koi Emerald, go ahead.
All right. Good morning, everyone. The name Koi is actually not a brand name, but my name. Okay, that's just a simple clarification on that.
Oh, sorry, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who have iPhone and Samsung and things like that on their, what's it called, as the identity. We will not recognize them.
All right, sir. All right. To the Mr. DG, sir, I just want to ask if there is an effectively method or way to check if any Nigerian company is registered with the SEC. Because while on this meeting, I've checked the SEC website and I couldn't find any section in the site to verify the company status, the registration status with the SEC, just like the CAC portal. So that's my simple question.
All right. There is a page on our SEC website. It's our Fintech Innovation page. If you go there, you find every information regarding to any fintech institution that has been provided, any form of license. However, I wish also to inform you that our website is undergoing a transformation, and it will better serve us in the next 1 month, if not earlier, around everything that we need to know. But for those companies that the SEC provided the provisional license, it is on the website on the Fintech page. So check again and you get that information. However, I will ask my team members who are here to provide the page directly so that anyone can access it. And also, it's important that you inform investors and those that want to be part of the capital market to always check the website for registered market operators. Anyone that is not registered is not registered. It's illegal. As long as you are expected to be registered, you fall within our regulatory purview. If you are not registered with the SEC, you are illegal. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, DG. Mr. Oluwagbenga Adeyeye.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for this insightful meeting. You've shed a lot of light on pertinent issues. More questions on the digital assets, what's it called, aspect. So I'd like to know, sir, what kind of risk disclosures are required for fintechs offering digital assets? And perhaps could you shed more light on possible places where we can get templates or guidance that we can follow so that we would be of utmost compliance? So.
Okay, so clearly, like I said, we are also very digital. Immediately I gave the instruction, my team have already set out to provide the links on the chat box. So everyone can go in there and you see all of this information that you're requiring from us. It will be totally unfair to use this time to start educating you on the risk associated to digital asset space. You can at least reach out to my team and you can get a better understanding of what exactly you need to know. But beyond that is the fact that once you get registered, then you'll be provided additional information that guides you to compliance. And so that is very, very critical. So the first thing to do is to apply, and the next thing to do is to move on, right? So that is what is required. So for inquiries, you can send your email to sec@sec.gov.ng and the team will respond to you.
Thank you, DG. Chimeze Chuta.
Good morning, sir, and thanks for taking our time to engage with us once again. I just want to get some clarity directly from you because when the very first expression of interest from SEC to regulate virtual asset service provided, you said that digital assets will be considered as securities unless proven otherwise. But now we have the new law, which says that digital assets are securities. Are there still rooms for issuers of tokens, probably reward tokens or clear utility tokens, to be able to get opportunity to prove that otherwise that is required in that clause that you use then?
The answer is yes.
All
Engage
right,
with my team and they'll provide more information.
Thank you so much, sir.
Tim Olasheni.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to ask, sir. Good morning, sir, once again. My question borders on how SEC intend to navigate the complexity of collaborating with other sister regulatory agencies, like from insurance, for example, NICOM, when we look at fintech expanding to different areas of our financial sector. So I don't know whether there are structures in place to have departments within SEC that will look at all these part of the ecosystem. Thank you, sir.
Okay, the answer is very simple. We have what we call the FSRCC. The FSRCC is a committee of governments that has every member within the financial system as members of that committee, where we jointly hold meetings and take care of items or issues that cuts across the regulatory landscape. So that's in existence. So we are already doing that and we'll continue to do that. And besides, we are all institutions under the purview of Mr. President. So we do not have a choice but to collaborate. Collaborate with one intention. The intention is to make sure that things are done properly. Intention is also to make sure that people are safe. The intention is also make sure that you have clarity with issues. So if there is a doubt regarding an issue, you can reach out to us. If it is not in our space, we will tell you where you should go to. So that we are decided to come out this open and we are engaging does not mean that everything is within our purview. It would be a wrong notion to think so. When it comes to payment systems, it is a responsibility of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Ours is capital markets. So it's important that those differences are clearly stated and appreciated. So while we're making our inquiries, we make them in light. But even when you do not know and you ask us, we're going to direct you properly to where you should be going to.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Aju Olakonde.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Doctor, for the clarity made so far. And I greet everyone participating at this webinar. Actually, my question is, I am into digital assets management, and I actually offer an app development organization itself. So my question is, under what category are we putting e-commerce platform? Will they actually be registered under the asset, digital assets operators as well? And what kind of classification are we going to be giving to different classes of digital asset management providers? That's just my need for. Thank you.
Okay, so e-commerce is e-commerce. Very simple. It's where you sell goods and services. That is not the responsibility of the SEC. So when you speak to the digital asset space, e-commerce is not digital assets. So we need to be very clear. However, like I said, because of how the fluidity in the entire space, if you have a doubt regarding whatever you are doing, write to the SEC and we'll give you proper direction as to where you should go to. And if you form part of us, our own space, we'll also let you know. So that is what we should do.
Thank you, DG.
Thank you, sir.
Shegun Koshemani.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde, the top man at Fintech and GR. Shout out to the DG, Dr. Timi Agama. Your work is cannot be undermined, and we cannot overemphasize how applaudable it is. We all big you up locally and internationally. Thank you for giving us this opportunity and a platform for expression. You're the man of the people. I'll just go straight to how this affects a lot of the people that play in this space. Firstly, you've been talking about collaboration. I know you're very big on that. So I am really wondering how we can enhance the collaboration that is already happening with other government agencies, with that of the CAC. Bitcoin is the apex cryptocurrency, and every other thing was a foster development under it. Why can't it be easy for people to just go to the CAC and register a Bitcoin-based business, or a business that has at least the word Bitcoin vis-a-vis crypto, whether it is a Bitcoin exchange, whether it is just a community development program, whether it is a fund management program, or whatever it is, at least be bold enough to say this is the business that you're doing instead of decoying. A lot of the people in the space, including myself, to be transparent, of course, we want to be regulated, are already doing businesses, but then not accepted by the CAC. I remember Convexity had this problem some time ago, and it was big all over the international news media. That's one. Quickly, the second one is IMTO is the concern of the CBN, like you rightly said, which is payments for international transfers. I have built in that space, and I know very well that if you have an international money transfer operator license, then you can send money all over the world, right, based on SWIFT, etc., etc. However, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer electronic cash. So I don't know why people in the space are not really saying this, but once you have Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency that are substantial with that type of innovation as Bitcoin has breathed, you can obviously send money all over the world without IMTO. So people are obviously building payment services, but our category, I believe, is under the capital market, but the word payment, as you have rightly tutored us here, is under the purview of the CBN. How do we separate that? You know, that's my second question. My last question, which is very short, is Nigeria is positioned to lead the world when it comes to this space. So this administration exploring the idea of maybe the country as a nation creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve and a digital asset stockpile would really be advantageous to all of us, help the GDP of the country and help individuals. I mean, blow up our country positively, even in terms of PR, and puts your legacy at top notch. Is there anything around that you're thinking about? Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir.
Okay, so creating a reserve currency is not my purview, but it's a good thought. I'm sure we'll all look at it together. Number two, in terms of the IMTO issue, that IMTO licensing is by the Central Bank of Nigeria, not the SEC. So that also is not within my purview. However, in all of the thoughts and you've made, it's a matter of continuous discussion, and we'll give opportunities to people with ideas and thoughts regarding this growing space. It's an evolving space for which no one, I can say clearly, including myself, will say we have full authority over. So ideas that come, thoughts that come, will be bounced around to see what benefit there is in it, and if it meets the desires of the regulators and those involved, then we'll all embrace it. So purely that is the case. I can't remember your third question, but
it's about
please.
CAC, sir.
Okay, CAC. So we will engage with CAC. We will engage with CAC. It's not their fault. A lot of people brandish a lot of stuff to want to get registration, but we'll continue to engage with them. And of course, we sit on their board, so we'll engage with them, and I'm sure the gray areas will be cleared for things to happen, seamlessly. Yeah.
Thank you, DG. Maybe I should just do a follow-up on that, which is stressed on the IMTU. I mean, I know diaspora remittance is something that's very strong with the central bank and government. Either we like it or not, Bitcoin is become a major means of remittances too. So maybe there should be a collaboration where the IMTUs can take Bitcoins, but they can't hold it. So it's like a T+1. They must have an account with an exchange, that's registered by SEC, for which those money must go. I think that would help to increase remittance. I think it's something that's up for thought that we need to look at as a means of collaboration between SEC and CBN. I quite see some nexus there too. So thank you very much. So we'll take Emmanuel Nwosu.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Doctor, for just being available to engage with the community. I really appreciate you for taking out the time. So my questions are just a couple of questions. So my first question is, what is the opportunity to bring digital asset platforms that aren't exactly trading platforms, such as NFT marketplaces and prediction markets, under the regulation and under the SEC purview? Is there an opportunity to do this? And if there is, what will be the challenges? And secondly, I'm wondering if you could speak specifically around consumer protection policies that the SEC has already established to sort of regulate the digital assets industry, and what the challenges currently are.
Okay, so we won't be talking about challenges. Challenges are supposed to be dealt with, and that's why we are the SEC. So in terms of digital protection, consumer protection, one of the greatest ways to protect the consumer is through KYC. The KYC must be top-notch. In fact, you must need to have enhanced due diligence, making sure that whoever is going to be involved is identified, known, and of course, the origin and sources are also known. So this is how, you know, we will definitely rule. As we improve on these, because of the nature of the space that we found ourselves, there will be new innovations, and as regulators, we're working on that. Internationally, we are also working on that. And of course, the IOS had recently issued guidelines concerning crypto exchanges and digital asset exchanges. Then speaking to NFTs, NFTs are, you know, arts, so to speak. And of course, once they fall within our regulatory purview, certainly they will be dealt with accordingly with regards to the rules and regulations. What the ISA does is to provide a broad law. Under the broad law, we will now create specifics that will deal with all of this, including NFTs. So just be on the lookout and you'll find that.
Okay, thank you, sir. There's a question in the chat which says that, is there a timeline for the regulatory incubator and ARIP programs? It has been on hold for a while and new applicants can't apply.
Yes, I spoke to that, to the fact that it's as a result of new experiences that we've discovered, and hence we needed to do some more due diligence and speaking to protection of investors. That is why that hold is on. But we are getting closer to ending it, because the major reason why that's even more of a challenge for us is because some of the due diligence that we are actually doing are not specifically within the SEC. So they're outside, external parties, and we need to give them their respect in terms of the way they do their work. So that is why it is the case. So let us be a bit patient. We'll get there.
Thank you, sir. I think I'll take a lady, Pamela Honor, please.
Good morning, Dr. Agama. Thank you very much for making yourself available to us to ask you all these questions. So I have two questions. The first one is, I wanted to confirm whether the intention of the SEC is to regulate FX trading platforms. That is one. And secondly, when the SEC released the issuance and of digital assets regulation in 2022, the regulation made a distinction between digital assets and virtual assets, and this has been ongoing. In fact, the Money Laundering Prohibition Act adopted the definition of virtual assets because it also recognized the place of virtual asset service providers to comply with money laundering requirements. Now, in the Act, what I noticed is that while virtual assets was defined to include securities, digital assets, which was defined in the regulation as, tokens that give you claim to the debt or equity claim to the issuer, it wasn't sort of included there, that digital assets, so securities, our traditional securities, that would have been caught under that definition, was not included there. Is the intention that will be done in the regulation? Because I know that this is something that the SEC is looking into. So I wanted your clarity on that point.
Correct. It will be done in the regulation.
Oh, great. Thank you.
So we are going to provide more regulation, and we are going to speak to most of these things better in regulations in order to have clarity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, and the first question about FX.
What was the first question again?
Yeah, whether there's intention to regulate FX trading platforms, as they are called.
Of course, it's the online, the regulation of online forex trading is very conspicuous in the new act. This has been left unattended to for God knows when, and a lot of Nigerians have suffered, great losses out of the fact that this is not being regulated. So the law is clear about it, and that is what the law is.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Unfortunately, DG has another meeting. Please drop all your questions on the chat. We'll send it to him, and he will respond, and we'll pass them on to you. Please have that understanding. I'd like to call Dr. Jamila to do the vote of thanks. Dr. Jamila Sharif Ariedo, please. Hello, Dr. Jamila.
So I must apologize before Dr. Jamila. I must apologize for all those that want to hear from the horse's mouth, right? You can still hear from the horse's mouth via, emails, and we will respond to your question. I can assure you of that. So just please, accept my apology, in view of the time. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Chief Stanley Jacob, as the DG has said, for your inspiring opening remarks. And we also have a heartfelt thank you as well to you, sir, the DG Agama, for sharing your perspectives and your vision with us today. We really appreciate it. Your commitment to operating within the legal framework, building a robust capital market, and prioritizing investor protection aligns perfectly with what we at Fintech and GR have as our objectives. So we are particularly excited about the potential of the ISA 2025 to shape and be transparent when it comes to investments in the country. And it's a trustworthy landscape for the Fintech Association to build upon. We are deeply appreciative of the SEC's willingness to guide us through its implementation. We look forward to a continued collaboration to achieve all the things and all the shared visions and goals that we have together for the betterment of the Nigeria's fintech ecosystem. Finally, I'd also like to extend a sincere thank you to all the esteemed stakeholders today, the industry leaders that we have, the regulators and the members that are part of our vibrant fintech ecosystem. Your presence today of nearly 530 attendees underscores the collective commitment and the energy that's driving Nigeria's fintech revolution, which is at the heart of our PI agenda: participation, innovation, and expansion. Your active involvement is crucial to our collective drive together to grow participation in the fintech space, also fostering groundbreaking innovation, and to achieve sustainable expansion in our industry and the Nigerian economy. Let's continue to build and innovate responsibly, hand in hand, guided by all the collaboration and the shared vision of our future. Finally, I will want to end by saying that if you have any further questions, please reach out to sec@sec.gov.ng, as stated before by the DG. And if you are not yet a member of Fintech NGR, we encourage you to join us today. Please just contact our executive secretary, Mr. Sheon Falancho. He will make sure he will help to guide you to join any of the respective groups, working groups that we have. So we look forward to you on the next event. With that, have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Jamila Sharif. Thank you, DG. We truly appreciate your presence, and we look forward to more collaborations and engagement with the ecosystem. Have a nice day, sir.
You too.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you
Thank
for
you.
having me. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All the best.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.